The president begins bilateral talks in India. The president promises Bangladesh counterpart to visit the country after the election. The railway strike ends with the mediation of Minister Bandula Gunawardena. Payment of 1,700 daily wage for estate workers begins from Matale. Consumers are requested to be vigilant when purchasing chicken. Drug kingpin Ahungale Lokupati has been arrested with drugs worth of 300 million rupees. Avishka, who murdered Paspodda, arrested. New laws will be introduced to prevent illegal constructions in wetlands and lowlands. French president calls for a sudden general election.
On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with the top story. Both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to maintaining strong Indo-Sri Lanka relations yesterday at a meeting between President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi was sworn in for a third consecutive term as Prime Minister of India. The swearing-in ceremony held at Rashtrapati Bhavan in New Delhi yesterday was a grand event attended by President Wickremesinghe at the special invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. After taking the oath of office, Prime Minister Narendra Modi posed for a group photograph with the regional leaders, with President Wickremesinghe seated next to him. The Indian media gave special attention to President Wickremesinghe's presence at the swearing-in ceremony, with billboards displaying images of him and Prime Minister Modi prominently placed around major roundabouts in New Delhi. Meanwhile, President Ranil Wickremesinghe and other state leaders attended a dinner organized by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. President Wickremesinghe extended his warm congratulations to Indian Prime Minister at this occasion. Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has assured President Ranil Wickremesinghe of Bangladesh's commitment to support Sri Lanka's agricultural modernization program. President Ranil Wickremesinghe and Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina are currently in New Delhi to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two leaders engaged in bilateral discussions this morning, where Prime Minister Hasina assured his country's commitment to assist Sri Lanka to modernize agriculture. President Ranil Wickremesinghe also affirmed his commitment to dispatch a delegation of Sri Lankan agricultural experts to Bangladesh. The objective is to study Bangladesh's agricultural modernization program through cooperative methods and gather valuable insights to enhance Sri Lanka's own agricultural modernization efforts. The leader also deliberated on the prospect of signing a free trade agreement between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. President Ranil Wickremesinghe highlighted the potential for such an agreement following the conclusion of India's free trade agreement. Additionally, the Prime Minister of Bangladesh pledged to divert private investors from Bangladesh towards investment opportunities in Sri Lanka, further fostering economic cooperation between the two countries. Consideration was given to the initiation of a passenger ferry service connecting Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, currently in New Delhi, held a meeting today with Indian Senior Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. During the meeting, Dr. Jaishankar addressed the swift resumption of development projects initiated in Sri Lanka within Indian investments, which had been halted midway. He expressed his intent to visit Sri Lanka in the near future to oversee the progress of these activities. Senior Minister Jaishankar assured that he would visit Sri Lanka soon to coordinate the Prime Minister's visits and expedite commencement of development projects funded by Indian investments. The discussions also covered India's neighbourhood first policy. Minister Jaishankar highlighted plans for an industrial zone in Trincomalee to be established by the Indian government, which will attract numerous Indian investors and potentially investors from other countries. President Wickremesinghe noted that the new Economic Transformation Act will delve powers into agriculture, health, education and economic management to the provincial councils. President Wickremesinghe also mentioned that the Truth and Reconciliation will be submitted to the Parliament by next July.
The railway strike that lasted for over 4 days came to an end this evening following a discussion held between Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena and the representatives of railway trade unions. At this discussion, the minister requested the Railway Engine Drivers Trade Union to report for duty, ending their trade union action that has caused immense difficulties to the general public. Cabinet approval has been granted in March to solve the problem of salary discrepancy and promotion procedures of engine drivers. The relevant promotion process is being carried out at present. 70 drivers of the grade 3 have already been provided with the appointment letters, including them to the grade 2. The minister said that rest of the engine drivers will also be given promotions in the future according to the scheduled policy. Accordingly, the minister informed the trade union representatives to report for duty immediately. Secretary of the Transport Ministry, Engineer Ranjit Rubasinghe, Additional Secretary L.S. Tilakaratna and Acting Railway General Manager S. Mudalige and several top officials were present. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that trade unions must try to solve their problems negotiating with their heads without resorting to trade union action. If it is not possible, then they can meet the Secretary of the Ministry. If it is also not successful, then they should ask the relevant minister. As the minister, he has allowed all the trade unions to have talks with him. Trade unions should not harass the people through strikes.
මේ රටේ ඉන්න මහජනයාව ප්‍රේම පීඩාවට පත් කරන්නේ නැතුව පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳෙන්නේ නැත්නම් එතනින් ඇවිල්ලි වෙලා වෘත්තීය මේ අනිත් ඔක්කොම වෘත්තීය සමිති කරන එකනේ මේ මිනිස්සු මට කවදාවත් ඉන්න දීලා තියෙනවද මේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් ලේකම් විසඳුවේ නැත්තම් එදා ඇවිල්ලි ඊට පස්සේ ලේකම් ළඟට යනවා ලේකම් ලෑනුත් විසඳෙන්නේ නැත්තම් මගෙන් ඉල්ලුවාම මම මොන ප්‍රශ්නේ තිබුණා මේ ඔක්කොම වෘත්තීය සමිතිය වලට කතා කරන්න ඉඩ දීලා තියෙනවා එහෙම කියලා තියෙද්දි මෙහෙම තර්ජනයට කරනවා නම් ඒ තර්ජනයට මුණ දෙන්න ලෑස්ති ආණ්ඩුවක් විදියට මම මේ රටේ මිනිස්සුන්ට මේ අපරාධය කරන්න එපා. තමන්ගේ ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳ ගන්න කරන්න පුළුවන් උපරිමයක කරලා කැබිනට් එකේ තීරණ අරන් ඇවිල්ලා ඒක කරන්නේ නැත්නම් ලේකම්වරයාත් යවලා ලේකම් නුත් කරන්නේ නැත්නම් මට ඇවිල්ලා කියන්නේ මම එතකොට කරන එක ගිහිල්ලා කැබිනට් එකට ගිහලා මට පුළුවන් දෙයක් මම කරන්න. එහෙම කරන්නේ නැතුව එහෙම කරන්න එපා.
Several train journeys had to be cancelled today as well due to the railway strike. Railway commuters faced immense difficulties due to this situation. Our correspondent stated that train services were operated as usual from the Galle railway station despite the strike.
The government has decided paying a daily wage of 1,700 rupees for state workers started today from the Bantale district. President Ranil Wickremesinghe increased the daily wage of state workers up to 1,700 rupees through a special gazette notification issued on the 1st of May this year. According to the Alkadua Plantation Company in Bantale started paying this wage to its workers from today at its headquarters. 1,500 estate workers had this benefit. Chairman of the Alkadua Plantation Company, Sumit Jaratna, said that it has been ordered to pay a daily wage of 1,700 rupees to state workers. After EPF and ETF deductions, it will become a 1,102 rupees and 50 cents. This is nearly a 65% salary increase.
Police Media Division says that parliamentarian Dr. Harsh De Silva has said that he has no threat to his life. Therefore, there is no need to conduct an investigation in this regard. Police Media Division further says that the parliamentarian had made such a statement under Parliament privileges. Minister of Public Defence ordered the IGP recently to conduct an investigation into the statement made by the parliamentarian Dr. Harsh De Silva that he had a threat to his life. Accordingly, the CID started an investigation and requested the parliamentarian to make a clarification in this connection. Then Harsh De Silva has thanked the CID and said that he does not want any investigation since he has no threat to his life. Accordingly, the Police Media Division has informed this matter to the Speaker.
On a more local stories, moving to the weather update, the Met Department says that several rounds of showers may experience in the western, Sabaragamu and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Elia, Gool and Mandalay districts. Showers over 50 millimeters may occur in some places in the Sabaragamu province and in the Nuwara district. Showers or thunderstorms may occur in some places of the Uva province during the night. Heavy winds may occur in the northern, north central, northwestern provinces, in the Trincomalee, Hambantota and Montreal district and the western slopes of the central hills. Showers or thunderstorms are expected in the seas along the coastal belt stretching from Puttalam to Hambantota, Colombo and Galle. The sea areas around the island can also be rough from time to time. The Met Department informed the fishing and naval communities to focus attention on these conditions.
The Consumer Affairs Authority informs the public to be vigilant in purchasing chickens since there is a racket in selling carcasses of fowl killed by floods.
Director of the Investigation Division of the authority, Sanjay Irasinghe, informed the media today regarding this malpractice. Director of the Consumer Affairs Authority Sanjay Irasinghe said that the authority has received several complaints during the past 5 days that some poultry farmers have sent dead fowl to the market. The Consumer Affairs Authority is investigating regarding these complaints. However, the authority requests the consumers to be vigilant in buying chicken. The color of chicken that are trapped in flood in pale and wan. Therefore, consumers should be vigilant on the freshness of chicken that are available in the market these days.
Construction of the interchange canal that takes a successive water of the Kaluganga reservoir to Murugahakanda has been completed. A sum of 8.91 billion rupees has been spent for this project. The Kaluganga reservoir has been constructed by blocking the tributary of Kaluganga from the Laggala-Pallegama area. This 8.4 square kilometers reservoir has a water capacity of 248 million cubic meters. This equals to 2/4 area of the Parakma Samudra tank. The construction has been carried out for about a period of 5 years. It is significant that the entire canal runs underground for about 8 kilometers. The constructions were carried out by Sino Hydro Company in China with the support of local engineers. The Kaluganga reservoir reached its maximum capacity for about 60 occasions during the last year. Its excessive water is to be transferred to the Murugahakanda reservoir through this underground canal. Project Director of the Kaluganga Murugahakanda Interchange Canal Project, Engineer Indika Kumara, said that this is the first project in Sri Lanka that connects two major reservoirs. Under the second stage of this project, 3 small reservoirs are to be constructed by blocking the Lower Uma Oya, Hasalaka Oya and Ginganga stream. These 3 reservoirs will lead to bring more water to that Kaluganga and the Murugahakanda reservoirs. The canal runs through 2 tunnels underground. The Asian Development Bank has provided financial grants for this project. Another significant feature of this project is that its influence to the environment is minimum. The main aim of this project is to take the excessive water of Murugahakanda reservoir to the north central and northern provinces. This will help to fulfill the needs of drinking water and water for agriculture into the 2 provinces.
The Ministry of Urban Development and Housing says that new laws will be introduced to stop illegal construction in wetlands and lowlands to control floods. This was revealed at a media briefing held at the Government Information Department today, and it was held to inform the media regarding the special summit wetlands that will be held from the 17th to the 21st of this month in Colombo. Secretary to the Ministry of Urban Development and Housing, W.S. Satyananda, said that Sri Lanka will inform the international organizations regarding the commitment and actions taken by Sri Lanka to conserve wetlands. Foreign tourists will also be enlightened on the importance of Sri Lankan wetlands and attract them to visit Sri Lanka. Chairman of the Western Provincial Council Tourist Board, Sugat Hewapathirana, said that over 100 environmentalists will visit Sri Lanka and stay over 5 or 6 days to take part in this event. The Western Provincial Tourist Board will implement a program to educate foreign tourists regarding the unknown tourist destinations located in the Western Province. Chairman of the Land Development Corporation, Iran Balasuriya, said that if there is an illegal filling of wetlands, we are able to take an action under criminal law at any time if people make complaint over such incidents. And Sirasa TV marks its 26th anniversary today, and it was launched on the 10th of June 1998. Sirasa TV has become popular among the people since it has been telecast on many local and foreign teledramas, reality shows and political and current affairs programs during this period. Talented youth introduced by Sirasa superstar stage have become popular songsters in the country today. Sirasa TV has been able to offer many international quality programs for the Sri Lankan audience. Sirasa TV has a style studio which is comprised with 6 studios with cutting-edge technologies. The national television extend its heartfelt congratulations to the Sirasa TV on its 26th anniversary today.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe has decided to extend the service of all heads of the national defence up to the end of December this year. Accordingly, a service extension has been given to Chief of Defence Staff General Shavendra Silva. With this decision, all security heads who are scheduled to retire in the coming days will be able to remain in their portfolios until the end of December. This decision has been taken to continue the security program of the country until the end of the presidential election.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that school education is essential for children as all children in the country are unable to go to tuition classes. The Premier stresses these that an environmental should be created in the school classroom for students to continue their education happily and confidently. The Prime Minister made these remarks participating in a ceremony organized at the Dharmapala Vidyalaya in Kottava today. The newly constructed auditorium and the indoor stadium of the Dharmapala Vidyalaya was vested to the students under the patronage of Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena. Western Provincial Governor Roshan Gunatilaka and several others were also present at this occasion. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that all students in Sri Lanka should not go to tuition classes. Therefore, the view that the education is only carried out by tuition classes is not correct. We are proud of our school teachers who extend their utmost support to promote school education.
President's senior advisor on national defence and chief of presidential staff, Sagala Ratnayaka, says that a young generation developed with new attitudes is essential to go forward with a new economic system. He made these remarks addressing the 6th session of the 5th Youth Parliament of Sri Lanka on the second day, joining as the special guest. The 6th session of the 5th Youth Parliament of Sri Lanka was held at the Presidential Secretariat's auditorium on the 8th and 9th of this month. Minister Harin Fernando and Chairman of the National Youth Services Council, Pasindu Gunaratne, were present as the special guests on the opening day. Addressing the gathering, Sagala Ratnayaka further pointed out that the country needs a steady economic policy to build up a strong economy in the country. The Youth Parliament focused attention on the proposed economic transformation draft bill and creation of a national youth policy in Sri Lanka. President's senior advisor on national defence and chief of presidential staff, Sagala Ratnayaka, said that in today's session there was an extensive discussion on youth policy and the Economic Transformation Act. He said that the President is dedicated to building a new economy for the future of the youth. He added that the last significant economic shift in the country was the introduction of the Open Economic Policy in 1978-79. He also said that since then there have been modifications, but not entirely new economic framework was established, hindering our progress in a competitive environment. Sagala Ratnayaka said that political influences have significantly impacted our economy, affecting the attitudes of our youth. As we move forward with a new economy, it is essential that the attitudes of the youth evolve accordingly. He further said that without improvements in education, knowledge and training, economic reforms will not yield the desired benefits. The President consistently emphasizes this point. He added that it is crucial to provide the necessary training for the new economy to our children from now on, preparing their minds for future challenges. Sagar Ratnayaka also distributed certificates to the youth parliament members for their active participation.
Minister of Transport, Highways and Mass Media Dr. Bandhala Gunawardena stresses the necessity of adhering to the loan agreements with the International Monetary Fund until 2028 while formulating the budget for the upcoming year 2025 regardless of the government administration, and he made these remarks during his participation in a media briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre today under the theme Collective Path to a Stable Country. Minister Dr. Bandhala Gunawardena said that in crafting the budget for the upcoming year 2025, irrespective of the ruling government, it is imperative to address the loan agreements established with the International Monetary Fund until 2028. By its 2025, it's anticipated that an external foreign resource gap will not adequately cover international transactions. Past trends suggested a project need of $118 billion for the purpose. He said that any government formulating this forthcoming budget must secure this funding. To facilitate this, International Monetary Fund has consented to provide $663 million under the extended credit facility. He added that the International Monetary Fund has consented to furnish $700 million to address the budget deficit. He said that furthermore, parties aspiring to assume state power must inform the country if there are any abiding by the agreements outlined by the President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is also the Finance Minister.
And we have more news from home in brief. Large-scale drug smuggler and organized crime gang leader Ahungale Lokupati and 3 allies have been arrested by the STF. This raid was conducted at the Kebelagahavat area in Kasbava. Police has also seized whole of kush and heroin worth 300 million rupees and 2 pistols. Avishka Madhushankar, who is responsible for the assassination of organized crime gang leader Paspodda, has been taken into custody. He had fled to the UAE after the crime and was returning to the island today. The 20-year-old suspect was arrested at the Katnaik airport. 2 Mahavali divisions were declared today under the names of Godakavela and Valigepola. 72 Gramanilladari divisions in the Ratnapur district have been included in these 2 Mahavali divisions. Minister Pavitra Vanyarachi says that these 2 areas will be developed under the Walava Special Zone. Funeral of the former administrative director of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, late Jathisa Bonalugoda, will be held at Godigamoa Public Cemetery in Maharagama at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And that's all the news we have from home. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next. President Emmanuel Macron called snap parliamentary elections later this month in the wake of a big victory for his rival Marine Le Pen national rally and the European Parliament vote. The far-right party was on course to win 32% of the vote. Exit polls said that more than twice that of the president's Renaissance party. Announcing the dissolution of parliament, he stated that the 2 rounds of voting would take place on 30th June and 7th July, a few weeks before the Paris Olympics. Emmanuel Macron made the dramatic and surprise decision in a televised address from the Élysée Palace, an hour after voting closed and exit polls had been declared in France's EU elections. The upcoming parliamentary elections also won't affect Emmanuel Macron's own job, as they separated from the presidential elections, and his term as president still runs for 3 more years. Marine Le Pen, who had been defeated twice by Emmanuel Macron in presidential elections, immediately reacted, stating that her party is ready to exercise power, ready to put an end to mass immigration.
Foreign media reports that 3 swimmers were attacked by sharks in 2 separate attacks in the Gulf coast of Florida. Beachgoers have been told by authorities to be vigilant following the attacks. One woman was said to have been a part of her arm amputated after being bitten last Friday in Walton County in northwest Florida. The fire officials said that she suffered crucial injuries to her hip and lower left arm and was flight to hospital. Less than 2 hours later, at another beach 4 miles further east, 2 teenage girls were in waist-deep water with friends when they were attacked. U.S. officials said that one of the girls suffered significant injuries to the upper leg and one hand, while the other had minor injuries to one of her feet. Authorities have been prolonging the short line in boots and some beaches were closed, although they have reopened on Saturday with purple flags warning of dangerous marine life.
Now, Indian police officials stated that 9 people were dead and 33 were injured after suspected militants fired on a bus carrying Hindu pilgrims in the Indian Federal Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Officials had initially stated that after the incident yesterday that the death toll was 10, but reversed the figure later. They said that the driver lost control after the attack, causing the bus to plunge into a gorge in Rasi district of Jammu.
Pinamu macang, prima kotumi fantamai.
India recorded a 6 runs sharp win against Pakistan in the World Cup T20 cricket tournament.
The match was played at the Nassau County International Cricket Stadium in New York. Batting first, India scored 119 runs for all out in 19 overs. Rishabh Pant scored 42 runs and Asar Patel scored 20 runs. Naseem Shah and Haris Rauf claimed 3 wickets each. In reply, Pakistan could only score 112 runs for 7 wickets in their 20 overs. Mohammad Rizwan scored 31 runs and Jasprit Bumrah claimed 3 wickets for Pakistan wickets for 14 runs. Jasprit Bumrah was named the man of the match.
Carlos Alcaraz of Spain won the men's single event in the French Open tennis tournament. Iga Swiatek won the women's event in this tournament. The men's single event was played between Carlos Alcaraz and Alexander Zverev of Germany. Alcaraz won the game 3-2 rounds according to the World Tennis Rankings. Alcaraz in the 3rd place. This is the first time he won a game in French Open. The women's single event was held between Iga Swiatek in Poland and Jasmine Paolini of Italy. Swiatek won the game 2-0. This is the 4th time Swiatek won the French Open and this is her 3rd consecutive victory in the French Open.
Jeu, 7, match, Swiatek. 2 manches à 0, 6-2, 6-1.
Pinamu macang, prima kotumi fantamai.
And that's all the news we have for you tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on ChannelEye. I'm Lunanjali together with Charita signing off. Good night.
Have a pleasant night.